How's it going, guys? It's Gunner from Blue Boys Racing. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to change an oil and an oil filter in a 2005 Yz250f or 450f. So first off, you have your oil cap and also your drain bolt. So this can either be at the bottom or the side depending on the bike. So first we're going to take off the cap, just so when we take off the bottom bolt we get some flow going. Set that down. Then we move on to this bolt. Now once you get it loose, you want to take off your socket just so you can slowly unscrew it and apply pressure to it because oil is going to spill out like crazy. So you can either use a pan, a bottle. I'm using a milk jug actually. You can tell oil's already coming out. Now this is definitely not the way to do it. Little redneck way. But if you get it on the floor, you can apply sand, baking soda to get that out. Don't wash it out, it's not going to come out.
Scoot it back a bit. Ted. That way. There you go.
Alright, this is everywhere, guys.
Normally you'd have a pan to empty your oil.
And gloves.
And gloves.
Guys, wear gloves, because
stuff will get everywhere.
this is probably the... Just don't do it like this. Get a pan, invest in a pan. Alright guys, once you got that drained out, you want to move on to the oil frame because this has a steel frame that runs oil through it. So same kind of situation with the last bolt. You want to apply pressure so it doesn't all just come out on you.
It's going to come out pretty fast here, and it'll spray pretty far. So you want to make sure you have your pan up to it.
So it's not a lot, it's just some overflow oil, so just drain that out.
You can always tip your bike forward if you need to, if you really want to get all of it out. So that seems to be just about all of the oil. Quite a lot.
So next we're going to show you guys how to take out and replace an oil filter, because you should be doing that every other time you change your oil.
To do this, you're going to need Allen key wrenches. The oil filter is right here. As you can tell, it has 1, 2, 3 bolts on it. Basically, what's going to happen is you're going to release these 3 bolts. With your Allen key, you're going to pull this out, and here comes your air filter, or oil filter, inside of this. What do you think?
Alright, so put some towels down because a little oil will come out.
As you can tell, we're doing this on a metal stand, so it's pretty easy to clean off. If you have precious floors, I wouldn't recommend doing it on precious floors. There you go.
So just even out the bolts just so it doesn't all come out.
There comes your oil dripping down.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a little bit though, it's not going to be much.
You can also push on the plate that's holding it. The bolts are different, so remember which ones go in.
This bolt right here, the top right, is going to be the longest bolt here. This is going to be this bolt here. This is the one you have to remember. It is a 5 Allen key, I believe, and it's longer than the rest, as you guys can tell. These two little ones are the top left and the bottom one, and they are going to be the two small ones. So make sure you guys remember that, which one goes where. So then after you move the bolts, you're just going to take out the oil filter. As you can tell, this one came off. So this is what your oil filter looks like. You can get these at any local Honda shops or whatever, any shops that you can find. Most of them will carry them. They're pretty small and they're very cheap. I think they're like $2. They come in this case right here.
This one's a factory racing, so it's about $6. I recommend spending a little extra money to get a little nicer one.
Anyway, sometimes if you really want, you can clean this out. If you're really not into mixing your oil, you can just wipe it off with a rag. And sometimes they'll come with the little O-rings, the little rubber rings right here.
Always
and
check
you
them.
can replace that if you need to do that. You can always check your oil filter before you put
So
it
the
in.
filter has a hollow end. You want to put that hollow end inside here.
Where's it? There you go. As you guys can tell, so that's where your long bolt goes back in, is the top right there. And this side does not have a hang off, I guess you would call it. Whereas if you look here, it has this little extended part on the oil filter. So that's just how you know how you put it back in. Then you're gonna tighten these bolts and put the new oil in, which you do about 2.5 pints to replace all of this.
And that's converted from 1.1 liters.
Yeah, it's 1.1 liter or 2.5 pints. So make sure you guys put that much in. You can do a little bit extra because it does burn off a little bit. So just depending on your preference. So then after you put your oil filter back on, right here, as you can tell, you got your different caps. This cap right here is your oil cap. This is where you're gonna put all the new oil in at. After you put it back on the oil filter and after you tighten both bolts down, you're gonna put about what we said, 1.1 liter or 2.5 pints. And after that, you should be good to go. Just make sure you start it up, get it running through everything, get it running through the oil frame, and everything's going good. And you should be ready to roll. All right, thank you guys for watching, and tell if this was helpful. See you guys later.